time a dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video and making yourself a priority. I am Denise. Today is a little mini collab between me and Barrett Pastor. Barrett messaged me and said, hey, you want to do a collab? We both do Diabetic plan. I'm like, okay, why not? So this is a full day of eating on what I eat on the Weight Watchers Diabetic plan. First off, if you're new here, I'm not diabetic. I am not pre-diabetic. Then why are you doing the diabetic plan, D? I get that asked all the time, and I do try to explain it a lot because I get people that don't see every video. Because honestly, I want more points in a day. I do. You get 28 points versus 23 points. And I found that when I took my little vacay from Weight Watchers and did calories and macros, I realized that I need to eat a little bit more. And perfectly honest, I could just pull it out of my weeklies. I could, but I know I need more dailies. And the 0-point foods that you don't get on the diabetic plan are yogurt and fruit. And truth be told, I don't eat a lot of fruit. Not a huge fruit eater. You know, I was forcing myself to eat fruit because it was 0 points. Is it something I really desire to eat? Not really. I occasionally have fruit, so I count it. It's no big hardship for me. You know, I'll count it if I need it. But I will tell you, here's a little secret. Weigh it. I've had things like, there was an apple I made a recipe for a few weeks back, and it had a little brown spot on it. And I'm not going to throw the whole apple away for a little brown spot. So I cut that brown spot off and I weighed my apple and it shaved off a point. And here's the thing too, not all fruit is created equal. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So yeah, it was only a 2-point apple versus a 3-point. If I just put apple in the app, it would have said 3 points. But I weighed it in grams and I got it for 2 points. Same thing with the banana. My husband saved me a piece of banana. He didn't want it. He goes, here, you want it? And I'm like, so I weighed it. It was, I think, a 1 or 2 point piece of banana. Again, shave off a point here or there. I do that with a lot of things. Same thing with bread. If you do that for bread, like say you have the end of the bread, look at the serving size on the package in grams and weigh your bread. I do that for my sourdough. When I have sourdough bread, I weigh my sourdough bread before I toast it. So yeah, so there's many times I've saved myself points on weighing. So that is a huge tip right there, right off the bat. So that is why I do the diabetic plan, for points. Again, that's not, I eat yogurt. I use yogurt more in recipes than I actually physically eat a bowl of yogurt. I make dips with it, you know. And here's a thing that I tell a lot of my subscribers. It is a 0-point food, so I don't feel guilty if I have to count it. It's still considered on a different plan a 0-point food. So is it a really bad option? No. So don't sit there and feel guilty about, oh my God, I'm having a banana, I have to count for 3 points. On another plan, it's a 0-point food. So I really keep that in my head when I'm doing that. So, but I am a Weight Watchers lifetime member. I made goal back in 2019, December of 2019. I made lifetime January of 2020. So I am a lifetime member. I am currently over goal. So I just started attending meetings again. They moved closer to my home, so I've been this past month I've been there, and I absolutely love being back. So if you're thinking about going back and you have a meeting in your area, I do recommend that you do it because I think it's been invaluable to me. So that's a little bit about me. I'm 57. I will be 58. Barrett and I are almost around the same age, because I think I didn't never realize that. Up the way, don't let the white hair fool you. I'm married with 3 boys and a dog, and on this channel I have mostly my homemade recipes, my creations, and I hope to show you that in today's video. That was my goal, is to show you all the things what we eat or something that are just through my creations. I do a lot of recipe testing here. I do a lot of one and dones here. I do a lot of cakes, little mini loaf cakes on this channel, and yes, they're made with a banana, applesauce, or pumpkin. You could easily swap out any of those in my recipes. So everything is listed at dishwithd.com. I will have that linked below. So I think that's a little bit about me. Welcome. If you're new here, you're coming from Barrett's channel, welcome. If you're one of my returning OGs, what's up, guys? So we're going to get started and have one of my favorite breakfasts, which is a veggie scramble or a veggie hash, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes I use scrambled eggs. Sometimes I use over easy eggs. Sometimes I just eat the vegetables because that's what I really am craving. But this is a great way to bulk up breakfast for very low, pretty much 0 points. It was, throw a piece of bread in there. Never, no harm, no foul. I may throw some hash browns today, some shredded hash browns. And again, weigh them. Weigh them. You can have a point's worth and have a significant amount, and it'll absolutely satiate you a little bit more. So it's all about, to me, for satiation. I have to feel satisfied. It's not about points. It's not about it's about me being satisfied with my food. You can have something that's 0 points and you're not satisfied. You're going to go back and look for something else. So I'm all about satisfaction because that's what keeps you on plan. So let's go get to breakfast because I'm a little hungry. Or I'm a lot hungry, actually. I did forget to mention to go check out Barrett's channel. It is linked down below. I totally forgot to mention that. See, I don't do collabs that often, so I'm a little rusty when it comes to collabs. So I will have her link down below. Go check out her channel. See what she is eating on the Diabetic plan. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and join her channel as well. So sorry about that. I'm rusty here, peeps. So let's get to breakfast. So what I put in my veggie scramble, now it could change from day to day, week to week, whatever I have on hand. But we have a going south zucchini, a yellow squash. Now I will make this. If I think it's too much, I will only take out what I want to eat. Because sometimes I can make a vat of this and I will save half. A pepper. Of course, if you know me well enough, it's always onion in my scrambles. Mushrooms. I will not be using this whole pack. And, like I said, the hash browns. Now, I put my hash browns in at the end because I don't want them to be crispy. But if you want a crispy hash brown, put them in first, get them crispy, then add your veg. Just all depends, or you cook them on the side. But I just get these from Trader Joe's. These are just shredded hash browns. So I'll show you one. And the serving is 2 ounces. And that is 84 grams. So if you want to shave points off, you get the scale and you do, 44 grams. 42 grams. And that's how I do it. I always weigh my hash browns. I weigh them frozen. So, and I throw them in the pan. Like I said, it depends on how I want them. But today I want them towards the end. And, ooh, speaking of which, I have some leftover taco turkey meat. And some refried beans. We'll see where we're going to go with this. I also have some of these cute little heirloom tomatoes that I will cut and I will top mine. Sometimes I don't like my tomatoes cooked in my veggie. This depends on my mood. Today, I think I like them fresh on top. But again, you do you, boo, and you cook your food how you like it. Because it's my scramble, and it's going to be your scramble. So I'm going to get all my vegetables prepped. We will get to sauteing. And we'll get this bad boy going. Because, again, I'm hungry. All the vegetables are in my skillet, lightly sprayed with olive oil. And I'm just I try to cut them all the same uniform size so they all cook about the same time. Plus you want it to be uniform in eating. So I have everything in here. I'm just going to give this a saute. I'm going to top with a little bit of salt and pep. There we go. You cook the vegetables until the doneness that you like. Some like firmer, some like more tender. It's your pickle. You decide how you want to eat it. So I scanned it and I was wrong. The 81 grams is 1 point. So we could have up to not bad for a point, honestly. it's going to satiate you. So it's going to be so worth that 1 point. So I have my bowl here on my scale. So we will measure in grams, 1 point's worth. I think that's all I have left. There we go. That is 1 point of hash browns. Honestly, that's a nice serving. I don't have much left in here now. I should just finish this, but we'll save it for a rainy day. Here's a bonus. Bagged spinach. Now you add this at the very end. To me, I add this when I put my eggs in because I just want it to wilt and that's it. I don't want it to disappear because sometimes this is so fragile. I put it in, it will just disappear. And I want to see my beautiful leaves of spinach in there. So we're going to cook the vegetables like I said. Towards the end, right before I'm going to add my eggs, I'm going to throw my potatoes in, scramble my eggs right in my, well, I think we'll do over easy eggs today. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling over easy eggs. So what we'll do a separate pan. I'll make my over easy eggs. And I'll decide, this is a lot of hash. I mean, I'm going to be honest. There are days I've eaten that. I mean, it's a zucchini. It's a yellow squash. It's some onions, some mushrooms, some spinach, little potato. Still 1 point. But it depends, you know. I mean, I feel like it might be enough because I want to have a bigger lunch today because I'm vlogging for you guys. I want to have a pizza. So in order for me to eat this pizza, that's a lot. Even though it's vegetables, it's still a lot of food. So I will probably eat half because I want to make you guys my homemade cottage flat pizza. Oh my gosh, the cottage flat. Probably one of my best ever recipes. And it's just 2 ingredient dough. My 2 ingredient dough is a little bit different. And you will see that. Also, I want to share this with you because we're friends, right? Do you ever see Sprouts in the store? Or if you ever had like a really interesting, eclectic place and they have Sprouts on their salad or Sprouts on their sandwiches? Well, I make my own Sprouts at home. You just need a jar, a sprouting lid, and some sprouting seeds. Everything is on Amazon, and I've been doing this for the last couple years now, and I absolutely love it. I do. This is the broccoli. They're not my favorite. I got them. I've been trying to use them up because they're okay, but I like the radish sprouts. I love the salad mix sprouts. So we're going to, I said I'm not throwing them away. So this is the last of it. And I threw all of it in the jar. So it takes about a week. You get all this. What you do is you put the seeds in the jar. Now I have different lids because see the holes are different. And you just rinse it in water, set it under in the dark room. Like it sits like this. And they grow from the moisture. Each day you have to rinse. I have a whole video on how to do this, how easy it is. And you'll be like, why am I paying like $6 and $7 at farm stands or at like Sprouts or Whole Foods for these when I can make them at home for pennies? So I will link that video on the iCard, which is over there. And I'll try to remember to link it at the end of the video because this, my lovelies, is a game changer. It's so good in sandwiches, wraps, salads, and it's simple. Like I said, lids are on Amazon. I get the ball jars anywhere, you know. But yeah, tip from my friend to you. We're friends, right? All right, it's at the consistency or tenderness that I want. I'm going to throw my potatoes in and my spinach. Like I said, I'm going to cook my eggs on the side because don't you find that all of a sudden spinach has these huge stems? Like, look at this. The stem is bigger than the leaf. But you know what? We eat them anyway. Gotta be more iron in the stems, right? So I'm gonna finish sauteing this. I'm gonna get my eggs cooked in a separate pan, and we're gonna eat. I'm undecided about the turkey meat. I think I've decided against it, the taco meat. I think I'm just gonna save that for maybe the pizza. A turkey taco pizza. Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Beans. See how life comes? When you sit there and you in the kitchen and create. I just did that with you. That's how the magic happens. And you can magic it happen to you too. Just have to think outside the box. Yes, we're going to have a turkey taco pizza for lunch. We're going to get this started. Let's get our eggs done. There's our completed veggie hash. I'm only going to have half. And our over easy eggs. Of course, I'm seasoned. Let's get to building our bowl. All right, I have half of the vegetables. Like I said, you want all of it, you most certainly can. And you place your eggs right on the side, like that. And I'm topping with some heirloom cherry tomatoes, because that's how I like my tomatoes. You like them cooked? Put them in, but I like them fresh. And some fresh from my, I don't say garden, I don't really have a garden, but I have a pot of basil, so we're just gonna put some fresh basil. If you've never put basil in your scrambles or eggs, oh my gosh, basil and eggs are fantastic together. Delicious. Just tear it like that. And oh, one more thing, because it's me, we're gonna put some Texas Pete hot sauce. Again, totally optional. You don't need to put it. You can put those homegrown sprouts on here. That would be really good, but put a couple of dashes of that. Okay. There we have breakfast. 1 point, because I'm going to count the 1 point, even though I split it between two. You could sit there and say it's a 0 point amount. You'd be right, but I'm just gonna give it a point. But that's it. That is my vegetable hash with 2 poached eggs. Let's see the money shot, because that is what we look for when we do one of these. That yolk. Look at that. There she goes. She's going to go all infuse all over your veg and make it creamy and delicious. Like I said, you can count this as 0 points. You'd be well within your right. I give it a point because that's how I roll. But you know what? You do you, boo. I'm going to go enjoy this breakfast. I'll be back for pizza. I'm a bit excited. Time to make it the pizza dough. Now, I use 2-ingredient dough for my pizzas. But I also swap out my yogurt for cottage cheese. It's really good. And especially when you're making a pizza, because it gives you that extra cheesiness that you can't go wrong with pizza. Now, I do use 1% cottage cheese. If you used fat-free, it would be a 0 point food, but I don't like the sodium content in that, so I prefer to count it and use the 1%. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you look at the calories and macros, they're very similar, so you're not really, you're not losing much. It's a point. I suck it up. But again, if you don't want to, then you use the fat-free, you know. I also, in my 2-ingredient dough, usually add an egg white, and yeast, quick yeast. I like the flavor that yeast gives. It's optional. I'm not using an egg today because I usually use egg white in the pizza dough and I don't have any egg white. So we're gonna leave out the egg completely, or if I'm making a bigger batch, sometimes the egg goes further. But if I'm just making a quarter of the dough just for one person, I'm using 1 serving. So it's a quarter cup. But here's my favorite find. The King Arthur Zero Pizza Flour. This was recommended to me by a lot of subscribers and Mr. Daniel Halleck. If you don't know Daniel Halleck, he's the Weight Watchers guru of recipes. I will link his website below, and everything on his website you can download, print for free. He's got 1 million recipes. He's fantastic. He's lost a lot of weight on Weight Watchers. He does all this for free. So I love Mr. Daniel. So I will definitely give him a shout out here because he's the one that sent me this flour. So, and I have to always shout out Mr. Daniel because he's fantastic. But the glory of this flour is a quarter cup is only 2 points versus all purpose or any other flour would be 3 points for the quarter cup. So you shave off a point. People rave about this flour. So I have been waiting to finish up my old flour to open this. So today's the day. You're one of the lucky ones. I also have this linked in Amazon if you want to try it because it's not a bad price. And like I said, you can shave off a point. Who's here for shaving off points? And I'll use it for that. Could you use yogurt in this? You absolutely can. I just love cottage cheese. I love the cottage cheese bun. I make buns. I make sweet buns, savory buns. If you've not made one of my cottage buns, if you're new and didn't know I make cottage buns, I will link them below. They're so good. I think I've made a chocolate one. I've made a monkey bread one. I've made pizza ones, but we're going to make a flat bread. I call it a fry bread because we're going to air fry it. So it is, you're going to see, we're going to smash it down, make it into like a crust, basically. And we're going to air fry it, and it's the best. You could top it with anything. It'd be fantastic. It's great for breakfast. I have it with like breakfast food on, like that on top of the fry bread. But for the serving of a quarter cup, it is 100 calories. Half a gram of fat, no sat fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, no sodium, 21 grams of carbs, less than a gram of fiber, and 3 grams of protein. 3 grams of protein in flour? What? And if you want to add protein powder to amp that up, you probably could. And there's how many grams of protein in this? Well, quarter of that would be, half of that would be 6 grams. So you're having 8 grams of protein. No, what did I say? 6 plus 3, 9 grams of protein in your crust. I'm all right with that. I'm going to show you how we get this together. In my bowl, we have our quarter cup of King Arthur flour. Think of what it was called. And we're going to put our quarter teaspoon of baking powder. Some salt. I just do a dash. And I'm doing a quarter teaspoon of quick yeast. You don't need the yeast. I just like the flavor of yeast in my 2-ingredient dough, but you don't have to put that in. I think it's more for flavor for me than it does anything else. Let me grab my spatula. So you combine, get those all mixed in so they all get evenly distributed. Okay. Dump our cottage cheese. I'm going to throw a little bit of Italian herbs because it's pizza dough. So I wanted to have some flavor. And just combine. Now, if you're a 2-ingredient dough person, you know it is a pain in the butt. I'm not going to lie. 2-ingredient dough can be very precarious. But what I do is I just keep mixing until the dough forms. I don't get too crazy about it. That's Bailey whining. Once you combine it with your spatula, I just tend to go in there with my hands and form it into a dough. And you just keep pushing it together. You wash your hands and just go around and you gather and you just keep pushing it into itself. And you will see, after a while, you have a ball of dough. I don't get too caught up in this dough. Like, oh, I don't sit here and keep playing with it until it gets a dough and all that flour is gone. You're ready to go. Oh my God. Because this dough could drive you nuts. So we got most of it. See? And I have a parchment lined baking pan because I find it cooks perfect on parchment. Like I said, I did this in real time, and we have our dough ball. See? I don't get too crazy because you could sit here and you could play with this forever. Let me get the dog out. All right, Bailey's crazy. Bailey's my dog. I have my air fryer oven on, preheating for 400. So, now, you don't have to spray parchment. I tend to do it. I don't know why, I just do. You don't have to, because it's parchment. We get our dough ball. We place it down. So here's the secret, which I should have already been ready for, which I Bailey messed me up. I grab a piece of saran wrap and I just open it, tear slice. And this makes life a lot easier. I just put it right on top and I just smash it down. And you make it as thin as you want. This is your pizza crust. You want it thick, make it thick. You want it thin, make it thin. You try to make, at least make it even. And just peel back. Look at that. And I like to put a little bit more of my Italian seasoning, especially for pizza, on top. Now remember, cottage cheese is going to make it taste cheesy. So we're going to put it in our air fryer. I believe it air fries for 15 minutes, but I will definitely let you know because I haven't made this for a few weeks. So put it in my air fryer. We'll come back and I will flip it. I'll come back and flip it and show you. That's what we'll do. All right, she baked for about 12 minutes. I'm going to flip it over because I just want it evenly cooked. Let's give it a flip. Look at that. Oh, she's coming together. Yes, a little seasoning on this side because, you know, I'm going to have it cook for another, I think another 8 minutes. We should be good. All right, there she is. Now, I would have cooked it more if I was going to use it as toast, because I have used this as avocado toast. And I would want it, but it's crispy, but not too crisp, because I want to put it in for the pizza, then might get too hard. But there it is. I'm going to let it cool, and then we'll build our pizza. So wait, one step done. You can see. There you go. All right, it's time for lunch and time for our pizza. Remember, we made our crust. It is a fry bread. So to that, you can do this. You can put pizza sauce. You can make this. I'm going to make this a Mexican taco pizza because I have leftover taco meat and beans. So we have our flatbread. Now, we said this was 3 points. So beans, as we know, we don't know. I have fat-free refried beans. Now, they did add the cheese to this. Let's grab it without the cheese. There's a little bit of cheese on there from the boys because these are leftover beans. So I'm going to smear some beans on there. Now, normally they wouldn't have the cheese in there. I'm not sure. I guess it must have been some leftover. This didn't want to throw it away, so they threw it in the beans. You can put as much of these fat-free refried beans because they're 0 points as you like. Plus, this is going to be the glue that's going to hold everything down. Our air fryer is already preheating, or oven. You don't really need the air fryer. I'm going to do this in the oven since we already air fried the bread. It doesn't need to be air fried. Okay, I'm going to put some mushrooms because you wouldn't really put mushrooms on a taco, but since I have them, I'll just throw a few on here because I just sauteed these up to have them for the week. I love getting that. Just a few. Get a little bit. It'll make us think that we have more meat on here than we do. Because I don't want to spend a lot of points on this because you'll see, I bet, when we go to do dinner. So these mushrooms are going to mimic beef. And what a fun thing to do. Mimic beef with some mushrooms. There we go. But we have our meat. I have 1 ounce of this is not 0 fat turkey. This is point, so it's 1 point's worth. That's why you see I put the mushrooms in, to just give us a little bit more bulk. But again, you want to put more turkey. If you have 0 point turkey, you could have used more. I don't buy the 0 point turkey. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care for it. I think it's too dry. So I do drain when I cook it. I do not rinse. I just drain my turkey. So we just spread this meat out so it's all over the place. We've got some height on this bad boy, don't we? And I do have 2 points of cheese that I weighed. This is the light. I'm using mozzarella. I don't have any cheddar. Whatever we used up the other night, so I don't have any more cheddar. So this is just some light, and I'm fine with it. It's a lot of cheese. I could have done 1 point's worth. We're going to bake it. Now, it's not going to take long. We're just really wanting the things to heat together. So maybe 4 or 5 minutes at that in your oven at regular temp, 350. You could put it in the air fryer. It would work, but I'm just going to put it in the oven and we're going to see how this bad boy comes out. So we just took it out of the oven. Everything is nice and congealed. This is where you can get creative. Tomatoes, you know me. Don't want my tomatoes heated up. Now, is this going to be messy? A little bit. I will bring a fork over there with me in case I lose a lot of this, which I probably will. You could drizzle taco seasoning. You could drizzle taco sauce. Just depends on what you want. A little bit of non-fat Greek yogurt and some fresh lettuce on top. Because it is a taco, right? If you had fresh salsa, that would be good. But I do have taco seasoning. I have this Old El Paso. Well, we'll scan it after to see if there's points. I don't think that there is because it's only 5 calories, but we're just gonna. I will definitely be eating the rest of that. But there you have your delicious lunch points. 3 for the pizza crust, 4 for the meat, 2 more for the cheese. So I have 6 points. We will check on this and I will let you know. There is 0 points for that taco sauce. So that's a win. So up even 2 tablespoons with 0 points. So have at it with your taco sauce. Look at that. I want you to hear the crunch of this crisp bread. This is like a mammoth. This is doing Weight Watchers. Are you eating like this? You should. Definitely cut it so you can eat it a little bit nicer. But I'm gonna have at it for my 6-point taco pizza for the win. I'm gonna have a green tea refresher, homemade. I have an unsweetened green tea from Dunkin' Donuts, and to them I'm going to add some of this healthy balance from the Dollar Tree. This is in a white peach, white grape, and peach. I keep saying white peach and grape. White grape and peach. Yeah. And with a whole cup of his cup is 1 point, but I don't even have a cup left. So I'm just gonna throw about half a cup in there. You have your own green tea refresher that doesn't cost you any points. Just as good as Dunkin's. Tip from me to you. Going to have a snack. Going to have a half serving, which is 1 tablespoon, of the spinach artichoke tzatziki from Aldi. 2 tablespoons are 2 points. 1 tablespoon is 1 point. And I'm going to serve that with 2 hearts of palm. These are 0 points. They taste like an artichoke. So what I do is I just dip them in the tzatziki and I eat it. One-point snack. Check off the list. All right, it's matcha o'clock here in my house, and it's time for my afternoon pick-me-up, a little matcha latte. I make mine in my milk frother because it mixes really great. I do a little bit of warm water, my matcha tea, and I'm using the Tenzo brand. If you're a matcha lover and you've not tried Tenzo, I've been drinking for over a year. It's fantastic. And once that's mixed, I throw my unsweetened almond milk. So my matcha latte is 1 point. I also put a squirt of vanilla skinny syrup in there. And look at this. I mean, can you just... I know. It's a crime. And I'm committing it. And I'm going to enjoy my 1 point clean caffeine. Delish. Like I said, if you're looking for matcha, I'll have them linked down below for 20% off if you're interested. If you're a matcha lover like myself, Tenzo's the best ceremonial grade you'll find. Just because you're on Diabetic doesn't mean you don't go out and have a good meal. So let's see if we could score here for the points we have left for the day. All right, I knew I wanted a salad because I really like the salads here. So I'm looking, and what caught my eye was the buffalo. But I just made sure I swapped out the fried chicken for grilled chicken because, you know, I got weigh-in tomorrow, so I can't, don't want to blow it on one high point salad, and you can. Here is my salad. I have my dressing on the side. There is a little bit of mozzarella, fresh mozzarella cheese. It comes to 16 points. 6 for the cheese, 3 for the roll, and 7 for the dressing. The rest, and I did have a roll because they were semolina rolls, and, you know. Clean plate there. I cleaned it all up. It was absolutely delicious. So that was my dinner out, because you can go out to dinner on plan. Just wanted to show you that is it for my day in the life, what I eat in a day on the Weight Watchers Diabetic plan. You will see that I had 3 points left over at the end of the day. That very rarely happens. And I had a lot of food. You saw, I've been trying to up my veggie game. That's how I'm attacking. Throw lots of vegetables in, full of fiber. So that's what I'm doing. In case you didn't notice, there's lots of veggies in today's eating. So thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, welcome. If you're from Barrett's channel, welcome here. If you consider subscribing to Dish with D, that's me. Hit that subscribe button, join our community here. I do the Weight Watchers weekly meeting topic, my weekly weigh-in. I do attend weekly workshops. We do what I eat in a day. On Tuesdays, it's a compilation video. I do sometimes question and answer. I do a day in the life. I do a app tutorial is coming, so I'm going to go over the WW app again. So if you have not yet hit that subscribe button, join us here at Dish with D. Thank you so much, Barrett, for including me in your collab. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, if you are from my channel, go check out Barrett's, linked down below. I will dish with you another day, my lovelies. Bye-bye.